And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing FortressCraft Evolved. Well, there's my Mark V right there. And it is good. I've moved over the battery, or the power gen, over to this one. So everything is pumping into this one now. I'm not really needing a whole lot of power gen going over here anymore. I'm already putting in as much as I need here. So I've also been pulling out here because these two are still pushing in here. So these two don't really have a good way of redirecting these, but these I just rotated what I've already got and it moved it over just fine. Now we've got a great laser light show going. So pretty. So to get kind of my setup back, I need, there's almost 2 million power in this already. So I need to put this directly in the middle. What is my power in? Look at my power in, 14, 17. Yeah, so we got more than 10,000 power per second, which is what the conduits can transfer at. So that is our goal, was 10,000 power per second. The only thing that really sucks is it broke the matter mover connection. But there's a really interesting way around that. 1, 2, 3. Put that there. It will beam the power into here, or beam the objects into here. I'm gonna have to wrap around to here and skip all of that, and then matter move the objects continuing down the line. So let's get a matter mover, which is, the icons keep changing on me. So I'm going to beam that way. It'll have plenty of power. Don't you worry about that. And I just need to conveyor belt over. Make sure they're all pointed the right way. I'm putting them up here so they don't interfere with any of these. It's kind of hard to see with all the light show going on, but this should move everything over just like that. This will connect into here. This should connect. We'll see the green. It's searching. It's kind of sending out something and searching. Doesn't do that until it has an item, unfortunately. But it should connect. So that's 3 above. So it should connect. There it is. So bingo, we've got a connection. And we've got, again, 14 to 17,000 power per second going into this thing. So I think it's safe to say we've got enough power. So let's attach the conduit. I broke the conduit over there and rebuilt it to kind of reset it. If you have connected conduits and you break one, you have to break both because they lose their connection and they don't reset themselves. But this should beam power. So much power. And this will stay, this battery will keep this one going as long as it can. So you can see our power out is actually pretty substantial. But we're maximizing, we actually are maxing that system out. So it is transferring at least 10,000 power per second over here. And is this battery budging? Nope, this battery doesn't even feel it. This battery's like, you want 10,000? I need more than 10,000. This is a very power hungry setup. So it looks like we've got a little bit of excess power. So we're not quite using 10,000 down there. But these are maxing out. So it's actually favoring these power turrets here versus the quarry. Looks like we've got some nickel coming in. That looks to me like it's nickel. Yep, we got nickel coming in. Cool. Could always use some nickel. I don't hit many nickel veins. Grab all the gold that's over there. Grab the miscellaneous. There. So far, it looks like it's just able to kind of saturate one of these. One of the problems with the quarry is it starts using so much power. Basically, it has a base power per second. So I think it's like 400 or 450. And then it adds 1 power for every meter you go down. So in this instance, we've got 1281. And if you look, the power is 1431. So that is, well, that's only 250. I guess the base power is 250. I thought it was 450. So we got 250 plus 1281. And it will get to a depth that it can't dig anymore because it exceeds the internal buffer. And the internal buffer is like 4096. So it has 4,000 internal buffer. Therefore, it can't dig past roughly 3,800. So it can't even go past 3,800. So that is unfortunate. I do have plans, big announcement. I do have plans to do a new quarry to mod in. I'm going to have probably a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. And the differences between them, I'm still kind of sketching out what I want to do between them. But I will have a couple different versions, mainly because people don't use the quarry all that much. They just don't. I like this mine shaft. I basically, all my resources that I was collecting, I was basically collecting all of my resources based on individual miners. I wasn't relying on the quarry at all. It was basically being run from the solar that was on here for a very long time. For most of the game, it just sat over here after I built it. And, you know, during the day, it would, you know, dig a couple blocks and then it would stop, and it just wasn't used. And I feel like it's really nice to have, but you know, not very many people use them, and they don't really have a use because they'd rather get the 100% efficient ores that you get with the plasma heads than you do a quarry with the 10% efficient. Sure, the quarry is just like build and forget, but the amount of power that it consumes is obscene, and you're lucky to hit the veins that you want without, you know, scouting beforehand. So really, it needs a little bit of attention, because we really need some extra quarries. We need this is called the basic quarry. So I want to do a Mark 1 and then a Mark 2 and allow them different statistics to make them useful either earlier in game or later in game, to make them actually useful for mining, you know, huge mining operations. We're talking just massive amounts of materials coming in and having to sort and smelt and all that kind of stuff. You know, you still probably have to deal with the garbage and all that kind of stuff, but there are mods coming out that handle this pretty well. Somebody's hopper mod adds a void hopper that you can just shove everything into a void hopper and it just voids it out, which, you know, it doesn't cost any power. So maybe I should suggest that the void hopper actually costs some power to void everything. But now looks like I added that solar panel and it really brought this back up. I'm trying to give a little bit more power to this so it stops bleeding power out of here and kind of sends more through the quarry. It looks like we're getting some ore through here. The issue with the quarry again is once it starts sucking a lot of power, with this setup, you know, I have the motorized conveyors underneath. If there's not enough power to push those motorized conveyors, nothing actually gets out, and it just sits idle until it has enough power to run another cycle. So it kind of dies a slow death when it does. So it looks like that is actually pretty good. So let's venture down to where my mining operation is. My smelting operation is slow and steady. I might go into the files and maybe try to rebalance the ingots to ore ratio, because it's just too brutal. It's absolutely brutal. I mean, all this time, and we've gotten just a couple hundred of these, and haven't even filled all these up yet. And I hope my ores are not actually out down there. That would be tragic if that were to happen. Looks like these are, wow, these are filled up already. So here we go, Q. Might get enough for a... I love collecting crystal. Give me all your crystal. The only ones I can't access are the ones on the bottom. Oh no, I can't. Sweet. Just can't get out of here very well. And that one there. So how much crystal did that pick up just then? Wow, that was a lot of crystal. 8K, I've got enough for another geothermal. Excellent. All right. Because these are now producing, my geothermals underneath here are now producing quite a bit of power. They're down the max depth. They're producing 1500 or 5400 power, which is the max I think they can put out. So yeah, and I think these only consume 500 power when they're processing. So it takes a while for them to actually catch up. So let's hop down to our ores. And what's the bad news? When I checked last time, and it was before I recorded the last episode, had about 500,000 in each of those veins down here. And those each started over 1 million. So we've got a lot. It is a long ways down here. I'm glad I spent the time to do the conduit thing, and I slipped through the... There we go. I'm glad I did the conduit thing to send power down here. Otherwise, it would have been an army of laser turrets or laser power transmitters, and that just would not have been fun. I should mine this lithium that's sitting right here. This is a ton of lithium, and my lithium vein is actually running low. So let's see what these ores, this says at about 500 or 600,000. Oh wow, that's not gone down too far. How about this one over here? That one's definitely, it's down about 50,000. 50 or 60,000. And the matter mover system actually works pretty well. I mean, it consumes quite a bit of power, but it only consumes it when they reach the bottom. So like this, here's the system. It pulls the 200 in, and then it starts beaming all the rest. And so all the hoppers that have inventory, it beams all that over, and then there's only just a few left. Then it's pretty much it can pretty much fill in a couple minutes. I could upgrade these to even the higher capacity ones, but that is, I mean, it's like a total of like 5 Mark 4 or Mark 5 inductions. It is crazy. So these right here takes like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these. I mean, look, it's in this tab all the way down. So you need one of them to make this, and then this needs 4 more. And if you look, so 4 of these, each of these is 8. So 4 times 8, well, you need 32 of these. Okay, so 32 of these, well, you need 2 of these for each one of those. So that's 64. 64 of these, which is 64 of these, 64 of these, and 64 of these. And if you look at the costs, it adds up really fast, especially with nickel and titanium and lithium. I mean, I've got the gold. The gold I've got in vast quantities, but these other ones, especially like the waiting around fortified PCB, it is brutal crafting these. So that's why I haven't ever crafted one yet, just because too expensive. Those Mark 4s are just ludicrously expensive. I'll craft the one for this one, because the basic cargo lift only holds 300. So to bump it up from 300 to 1,000 is really good. And the upgrade to the next one goes from 1,000 to 3,000. But that is brutal. It's like 2 times the crafting cost for 2 times the ratio of crafting versus upgrading at once. So let's go down even deeper. How's my Arthur charge? Oh, Arthur's doing pretty good. So there's not much we can do in the magma caves. There's DJ kind of considers it like a soft barrier, soft boundary, where it's very difficult to actually get anything under the magma layer. It's kind of designed that way. The tier 4 expansion will be focused on the end game result of the tier 4 expansion is something called the magma bore, which is similar to the OET, and it takes a lot. Oh, well, look at that. There's our 2 geothermals coming all the way down to here, which is awesome. And I've got worms. I got a worm issue down here. Oh, what is that? Can I get close enough to that? That looks like a hive. Must be more magma. Must be. Please don't. Oh, you're spewing at me. Oh, is it gonna hurt? Yes, it's gonna hurt me. Darn. Oh, ow, ow. Why? Why? You stupid magma worm. I want to get over there and see what that is. Why is it? Oh, it must be more lava. It looks like it is. I could dig through here. This should be special stone, I think. Got magmasite. Can't mine that at all yet. No use for it. That's the next expansion, a tier 5. And then the tier 6 is where you get the uranium. I think tier 5 is the magma site, and there's a super hard rock around here somewhere. I'm not going to do that. I need the energy. Arthur is quickly using up. Using up power, keeping me alive. Yeah, there's sugar light around here somewhere. But exploring down here, there's a slime cruising around on the magma. That is one tough slime. Is there any unknowns down here? That's something I haven't pinged for in a while. Let's let those die down a little bit. Yeah, there's another worm. I know, you guys. I don't think there's any unknown. Nope. There's a huge vein, what looks like magma site over there. That is a massive vein. Usually you find it in little tidbits like this, but that is something else. I kind of want to check that out. I can do this, that. Oh, there's a bobbleberry. Bobbleberries are everywhere. Yeah, that's a pretty healthy amount of magmasite right there. All right. You gonna kill me when I get this close? There is my other quarry. That is the other quarry right there. Kind of want to jump down there and see what metals or what materials are down here. There's the coal that I ran into. Here is a big vein of something. This is a super hard rock. This is the next tier stuff, tier 5. 18 million of that. Not bad, not bad. And it looks like we've got some magma down here. Let's float down here. So let's ping for air. So there is air right below us. Oh, this episode was going long again, so I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.